Hello, everybody. Dago Zeta here. First, as you walk through Majora's Mask, 3 hearts. And here we have the single most annoying thing in this entire game. Alright, so, yeah, I've said that about so many things in this game, but this one is probably the most accurate, I suppose. Alright, so, Dompe, he's like the gravekeeper guy. You might have seen him outside, kind of wandering about the graveyard. Yeah, so he's looking for a treasure or something like that. He said, like, the royal family's treasure, looking for it. So we have to go around and try to find it. And to do that, he said, oh, it's too dark down here. Even though you can see just fine in here. He says, it's too dark, you gotta help me get through. So what he means is your fairy is dimly illuminating this little bit, so he's like, okay, I need to follow you. And if you get any more than 2 inches in front of him, he'll just start wandering around like a retard. There's nothing you can do about it except try to get back in front of him. And usually all this does is proceed to waste your time. And yeah, right now I'm being careful because there's wall masters that are on the ceiling instead of the wall. And then if you walk too far in front of him, he'll also say, oh, where are you? And plus is also the fact that he walks really freaking slow. Like, I can't even begin to comprehend how slow he walks. Just, like, see, if he walked faster, it's going to be a problem, but no. He's like, oh, I don't want to get lost, even though all he does is get... See, the logical solution would be, instead of walking around like a retard every time you get more than 2 inches in front of him, would be to, I don't know, maybe stop walking for a second instead of... I can deal if he stopped every once in a while instead of wandering around stupidly, but it's not the case. Well, okay, I have a bystander here. So, alright. Also, I like to point out that right here, it's entirely possible for him to wander off the edge, and you'll have to lure him back onto that platform. And if you didn't pick up on it, the way the platform works is if you stand on it, and when he stands on it, you get off, it'll start rising and move to where you want it to go. Yeah, so he can walk off this thing completely at random, and then you'll have to climb all the way back up here. And basically, your goal is to find 2 of those fire things like you found the first time. Or no, 2, 3, what am I saying? And I'm pretty sure that it's always on the last one. The last one will always be in the last one you look, because these seem to be in different locations than they were last time for me, or maybe not. I don't completely remember. See, how did I deal with this? Crack your knuckles in the background again. Yep. Bystanders are bothersome. Okay. Yeah, so basically this is going to be probably the most boring thing you can ever watch. Well, and the most boring thing is probably, oh, I can probably think of a couple things, but let's just say, Nyan Cat, maybe. Maybe it's entertaining for 2 seconds, then it's annoying, and then it's boring because it's annoying. Especially the 10-hour one, which, no, I never watched the entire 10-hour thing, so whatever. Also, it's pretty annoying. Earlier, my first run of this sort of, what I ended up doing was I accidentally fell into the hole that was left behind when the platform rose. So from there, I had to redo the entire room, and that was after I dug up 4 of these spots, and that was really annoying. Also, I'd like to point out that you can only do this on the night of the 3rd day. So, make it the 3rd day, and make it the 3rd day, and then put on the captain's hat. You'll see a couple of Stalchildren just kind of marching around one of the graves. They march around different graves every night, it seems. So, just go into the one grave that they're guarding on the 3rd night. And also, unless you want to run out of time, I really suggest you play the inverted Song of Time before you start doing this, because frankly, there's one more thing we have to do after we finish what we're doing down here. And go black again. Yeah, so basically after this, we're gonna get the final mask before the secret one. Oh no! Basically, that so I really think we should just kind of go to the bottom here. Get a much better you basically see more, get more attack him. This guy can go into walls, so what it does, and the closer you are to a wall, the more likely it is to go. Also, it takes less hits with light arrows to kill this guy. I think it's through like with light or something. And also, another suggestion, I'd say collect his soul there. Yeah, it sounds so evil. Collect his soul. Why was I carrying a bug? I really don't remember what I was doing. Oh wait, I remember. Yeah, because I recorded both the spider houses. Or no, I recorded... Yeah, with this one run, I recorded both the spider houses and this. And voila, we have the final empty bomb. Now, there's really only one way to get out of here, and I'll show you that way, I guess. Well, no, I won't, but basically, if you go out through the stairs that were in the middle of the room at the end, that leads you to that one locked door in the graveyard. It's like, yeah, that's basically because it's Dampe's house, and for some reason, Dampe's house is connected to the graveyard, to the tomb, which is really creepy, I suppose, or whatever. You can't accuse games of being logical, or you know. Or maybe my theory is probably like dug his way into there. Then again, that doesn't explain how it's kind of paved. Alright, so you're going into the curiosity shop. You can only do this on the third night. And make sure that before you do this, that on the first night you save the old lady from the thief. Because otherwise this thing won't be here. Alright. So first of all, this guy, you can buy and sell stuff from him. So basically give him the big toe, you get a huge ruby. So I'm just going to kind of sell all the little things I have in hopes of acquiring 500. Because the reason you needed the Giant's Mask was because you had to get 500 rupees. And yeah, so of course I'm like too short of that. And he apparently only buys things in bottles. I thought he bought DQ nuts and stuff too, but I guess not. So yeah, another way to make some quick money, I guess, quick 20 rupees. You can every time. This is like without fail. You can go into here, you can find a fish lying around, and you can also sell labs. And I think the fish respawns too, whatever. So after you like leave and come back in, the fish will still be there. So essentially, it's an infinite money-making strategy. But there's also the fact that it's pretty cumbersome to keep doing that, and just kind of grabbing the fish. All right, and yes, the reason we need the Giant's wallet is to buy that mask he has over there. It's the only instead of the game just being straightforward and giving you the mask directly, now they're like, oh, go get this big wallet first. We hate you. And they just try to make it as cumbersome as possible. Alright. Also, if you notice, this was the guy who was hanging around Kai-Fi's room, or whatever. So, yep. This mask looks really creepy. It looks almost nothing what it looks like there. Sort of. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. We now have every mask, and next video we're going to do the end of the game. Or start it. Alright guys, see you next time.